Arsenal keen on moving on Thomas Partey. Reasons have been given by Gary Jacobs, one of a huge journalist that works for a very top-notch media outlet, and we're going to come out and we'll tell you about what he has gone ahead and really best on to really say to it that Thomas Partey is going to be moved on by Arsenal. Grant Xhaka obviously onto the final verge of quitting Arsenal, and lastly, Allister has gone ahead to really reveal to us as to why he chose Liverpool over the clubs. It's all because of the stadium. Like Gabriel Jesus came on through and really told the fans of Arsenal that he liked the state of art of the stadium of Arsenal, and this is one of those reasons that Allister attracted him to the Merseyside best club, that is Liverpool. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And we're watching us from my group by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, we want to hit 15,000 subscribers, right? Because right now we are at 14,000 subscribers. We want to hit 15,000 subscribers. Not so? Let me check. We are having 14,000 subscribers and we are chasing in for that 15k mark there of subscribers. So guys, continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in on a daily. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner, black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it with the notification bell, that will enable you get notified every time we upload a video onto this good YouTube channel that you guys have really driven from 1 subscriber to 14,000 subscribers. Now, let's go to Gary Jacobs, and one will ask, who is Gary Jacobs? And let me tell you exactly who this journalist is. Gary Jacobs is a sports reporter at the Times, and he is really one of those credible journalists that I really credit, and he has gone ahead to reveal to us that 2 Italian clubs have shown interest in Partey, who has 2 years left on his contract. Arsenal could be keen to offload him if they get a deal for Moise Caicedo over the line. There has been disappointment at Arsenal that he dominated matches for 2/3 of the season, for the 2/3 of the past season, and then regressed into his performances in the final bend of the season. That has been the talk of us, because if you are a decent player, where the team needs you most, if they're supposed to come out and really show off, because the Englishman has always gone ahead and said the end justifies the means. For the Premier League, it's not a 100-meter race, it's a marathon, and that marathon gets done in the final beat of the season. If at all you've watched these athletes that run the marathon, by the time they start the marathon, they are always around the 10th, 8th, mid-marathon. Like if you're talking about 10,000 meters, where they run 5,000 meters, they come near to the top spot, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, there. And towards the final bend of the marathon, that's where you see the likes of Kiptegei coming in from Uganda, just sprint, and they really take off, hence winning the marathon. So, Thomas Partey, instead of really sprinting towards the final line of the marathon, he imploded. And in those games, he really looked ugly. He lost control of those games. And trust me, in the game of Liverpool, if Thomas Partey had a very good game in the midfield, Arsenal would have gone ahead to win that game. West Ham, the same thing. For that, he just gifted it to Declan Rice. Second goal they score obviously had a contribution. Third, Southampton, he was nowhere to be seen in that game. Against Man City, Thomas Partey was in his own island. And if at all you are a very good midfielder as Thomas Partey is, those are moments that describe you or that define you in your season. Trust me, he literally failed Arsenal to gain its lost glory. 2 decades since Arsenal last lifted the Premier League trophy, and here they come and lifted one. But he failed them. And I not only take the blame to him, or put the blame to him, but I also put it onto Mikel Arteta, because those games you saw that the man had really capitulated, and you needed to really take him off and obviously start Jorginho. And when Jorginho came in through, you saw the difference he gave to that team of Arsenal. So I think it's unfair for Arsenal to think of offloading Thomas Partey. Why? If you're a big team, I understand their decisions that are really taken, but if you're offloading him, who are you bringing in? You can't tell me that Arsenal is going to lose Xhaka and Thomas Partey in the same season and replace them with two central midfielders who are really new. If you're telling me that you're bringing in Declan Rice and Moise Caicedo, that's okay. Then you are offloading only one, that is Granit Xhaka. Then Thomas Partey, offload him the other season. I don't see the reason as to why Arsenal offloads Thomas Partey right now, yet they've brought in two midfielders, meaning that before you brought in two, you needed one, and you've brought in two and you are letting all these go. And before Arsenal needed, I've even made a mistake. Before Xhaka and Thomas Partey leave, Arsenal wanted two central midfielders, and they've gotten, if they get Caicedo and Declan Rice, they cannot let Thomas Partey and Xhaka leave. That is out. And I know, however much he's so much linked to Italian clubs that they are interested in Thomas Partey, but I believe Arteta will want one more season from Thomas Partey. I know I did a story of Thomas Partey worries that his contract has not been really talked about, yet Arsenal is really rewarding contracts to people like Odegaard, Benny White, Aaron Ramsdale, Bukayo Saka, William Saliba, Reece Nelson, Gabriel Magalhaes, Gabriel Martinelli, name it. Almost the first 11 of Arsenal is being rewarded, and Thomas Partey is not being rewarded, and that will worry him that the club is not willing to reward him. And if at all you're not rewarded, that means your services are not appreciated by this club. So Thomas Partey needs to go all out and really talk to the board and see whether they are still interested in him or not. But as it stands, I think Arsenal really need Thomas Partey. In every position, at least you need two players. Thomas Partey and Jorginho can act as CDMs for Arsenal. Then Xhaka and Caicedo and Declan Rice can be counted as number 8, because Xhaka's role needs to be fielded in another player, and that player needs to be having a backup. If you're bringing in Declan Rice, then Declan Rice must be having his backup. I really know if at all Arsenal happens to get these two deals over the line of Caicedo and Declan Rice, of which I believe they're going to do so, the ideal midfield of Arsenal is going to be Declan Rice, Moise Caicedo, and Martin Odegaard, meaning that Thomas Partey and Jorginho will have to fight to get into the starting 11. But I really understand time will come when sometimes it's Partey playing against Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard, or Jorginho, Moise Caicedo, and Martin Odegaard, or Thomas Partey, Moise Caicedo, and Martin Odegaard. So, Mikel Arteta needs these players around. As you think that is going to capitulate, then you get in a player whom you think he has a big heart that cannot capitulate. Because the big problem that Arsenal faced was Arteta lacked players that he trusted. That's it. Because you saw to it that sometimes he feared to make substitutions. Even players that you think he can trust, he never trusted them. The game of Liverpool, the first substitute for him to raise up from the bench to go ahead and really warm up, and we saw him even take off the bib to put on the jersey to come on through, was Kientieni, meaning that he had already anticipated that Zinchenko had turned into an avenue, but he left him there until the 85th minute, until when Arsenal conceded the second goal. So it shows you how undecisive he was in that game, and that shows you that doesn't trust Kientieni, because if you trusted Kientieni, it was obvious that it would have been easy for him to take off Zinchenko and get on Kientieni before Zinchenko was really mugged by the Liverpool right back, that is Trent Alexander-Arnold, and laid a very good cross from the byline to the far post of Arsenal that found the unmarked Jorginho and nodded it home. So that is it. But I see no reason as why Arsenal should offload Thomas Partey. I think they still need Thomas Partey. They still need Jorginho. They still need Declan Rice. and Caicedo. If at all you are having those 4 central midfielders, I think they can take you throughout the season, because you are mixing fresh talent with experience, and in this team, experience is needed. Unless otherwise, you get in Caicedo, you get in Declan Rice, and you get in Ika Gundogan. For that, even if you put Partey away, I'll understand the reason, because Gundogan will come in through to play into the position of Granit Xhaka, Declan Rice, Caicedo. So it shows you that that can really work well for Arsenal. So I think Arteta will only move on Thomas Partey if at all he gets in Gundogan, Caicedo, and Declan Rice. But minus those 3 signings, I don't see him moving on Thomas Partey. Maybe next season, because he would have gone ahead to capitulate. Now, another story from Arsenal is coming in from Granit Xhaka. Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and really dropped a hint on the long-awaited departure of Granit Xhaka. And most of you have been asking yourselves, why isn't he really leaving the club of Arsenal? Yet he has gone ahead to agree everything with Bayern Leverkusen. Fabrizio has told us that Granit Xhaka still prepared to join Bayern Leverkusen once Arsenal will sign a new midfielder. Arsenal work in progress for Declan Rice. Arsenal confident since last week. That is Fabrizio Romano. So Arsenal just need to get in Declan Rice and then offload Granit Xhaka. So this is something you're talking about. For Granit Xhaka leaving and bringing Declan Rice, that's really great, as Declan Rice can play as a single pivot, and he can play as a box-to-box midfielder, or a number 8, or a central midfielder, where Granit Xhaka has been playing for that Arsenal side. But you can't offload those two. So if Xhaka is going, Partey has to stay. Partey has to stay, unless otherwise Arsenal sign 3 central midfielders, something that I believe is going to be very, very hard, as Declan Rice and Moise Caicedo will go north of 180 million pounds. So you add on to João Cancelo, if they're going to get about like 40 million pounds, that is 220. They need a right-sided centre back who can go for like 50 million pounds. So that will be like 300 million pounds for Arsenal to spend. So I don't see them really getting in the third midfield. I think they're getting in 2, and Thomas Partey is going to be kept at this club. I don't see him really leaving the club of Arsenal, and I'm going to be shocked if at all Partey is sold by Arsenal. I understand they might not be wanting to give him a new deal, but they believe he's really having 2 years on his contract. Play 1 year at Arsenal, we sell you next summer, depending on how he's going to perform next season. So that is Thomas Partey for you. And lastly, let's do some Alexis McAllister. So McAllister is a Liverpool player who just signed recently from Brighton at 35 million pounds. That was an absolute bargain. He has told us that I had to play twice at Anfield, and any player you talk to tells you that it's crazy how people encourage within England. They are the closest thing to the people of Boca Juniors. Liverpool are the Boca Juniors of England. I really want to start playing there, he told ESPN Argentina. Now, he's revealing to us the main reason as to why he dumped the likes of Man United, Arsenal, because those are the other teams apart from Liverpool that we are interested into the services of this Argentine World Cup winner. That is Alexis McAllister. I love McAllister, and I really understand his reasons, because the atmosphere at Anfield is really very hostile. We who support Man United, like me, went at Anfield and obviously swallowed 7. Ask the Arsenal fans, they will tell you how rough and hostile it got in the second half, that those fans ride Liverpool until Liverpool forced a draw from Arsenal. So I think McAllister is really right, because we've seen very many players in the Champions League that have gone ahead to recommend the way the Liverpool fans really give them life at Anfield, and obviously make them admire to come in and really play. So as Jesus came out and really told us the reason as why he came to, one of the reasons as to why he joined Arsenal is because of the state of the art of the stadium that he admires. Now McAllister is talking about how loud and supportive Sorry about that. How loud and supportive the supporters of Liverpool are. So, guys, your thoughts on to Arsenal keen on moving on Thomas Partey are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Xhaka's delay and Allister's thoughts on the team of Liverpool and their fans? I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Those going to bed, good night. Those that have gone ahead to wake up just now, good morning. And may the Almighty Lord enlighten your night. And those that have just woken up, may Him enlighten your day. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Me out.